Hi, this is Sonia with Artsy Solutions, and welcome to week 1 of 52 weeks of using up old scraps. So this week I decided I'm going to make some tags using some old scraps, and I just kind of threw together some stuff, no kind of random pattern or anything, and this is what I came up with. So this comes out, and I just used some notebook paper and stapled some together, and I stitched this little clear acetate pocket on here, and I used some stencils on a lot of these tags, and I added some cheesecloth for ribbon, and these are all double-sided, and then I just used some punches and stencils and stuff for some more cards, and you can use these for journaling spots. And I use a lot of stamping on most of these. So all of these have like stamping, stenciling, just different types of media. So here's a see-through of them. And you know, like I said, I stitched around them. And these are all double-sided, and I just stamped on the back of that. Same thing here with the stenciling and the acetate pocket and the little booklet that I just stapled together. And then same thing on the back. I just took some punches and added a little tag in the back. Same thing here, just some stamping. Use some Tim Holtz stamps with a lot of these. Tim Holtz stamps and the Crafter's Workshop stenciling with a lot of these. And just used some Recollections hole punches for these. And then this is double-sided, and used the Tim Holtz stamp. I forgot what that's called, but I'll have it in the link in the description of all the stuff that I've used. So it's really simple. I made like a little belly band right here. It's really simple how I made these. I messed up on the stitching a little bit right there, so I had to go back over it. I'm still working on it. That was my New Year's resolution from last year, was learning how to stitch. But it takes time for everything, including an entire year. So, but yeah, just stay tuned and I'll show you how I made these. So I'm just going to make some, I guess, envelopes and tags using up these scraps, and I'm just going to grab some and just go with it. I'm going to use some punches and some scissors and just start gluing and making some tags and things, some ephemera, just using up my scraps. I've decided that since I have way too much on hand, I've got to do something about it. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to start out making, I guess I'll start out making some tags. That's probably the easiest thing for today's session anyway. And I'm just going to collage some of these things that I've just had laying around. But I'm going to cut them down small enough to where I can work with them. I might stitch some of them together as well. I'm not real sure yet. So yeah, today I'll just make some tags. And I've got my old book pages. So we're just going to start gluing things together. And, well, actually we're going to use some punches and stuff. Okay, so I'm going to take some of these punches, border punches, and I'm just going to create some borders for some of these tags. This is a little big, but I'll just cut another one that's small. And I'm not measuring anything, I'm just using what I have. There we go. I'm just going to do that for all of these. I'm just going to randomly just punch some of these edges. Okay, so now I'm going to use these punches. I'm just going to grab some more paper from here with contrasting colors. I'm going to try not to overthink it too much, but I'm going to need some solid against all these pattern papers. So I found some solid papers, and my camera messed up and I thought I caught all the footage of me gathering all this together. But anywho, I found some solid papers and I'm just using this little punch and I'm punching some of these shapes out. And let's see, I'm going to do some more with this particular shape. Let's see if I can get enough. It's big enough to make one. No, not quite. I can actually use this up against something else. Some of these are from die cut shapes. I can use these in journals and use these as like a frame. So I don't think I'm going to mess with that. But I do have some white papers. But this is just copy paper, so I don't really want to use that. I need something a little bit thicker. And here's some manila cardstock from a manila folder from previous projects. Oh, you know, I might just leave it whole for another project. This is where I overthink stuff again. Instead of just getting straight to it and just using what I have. Okay, so like I said, I don't want to overthink it too much. So I'm just going to use this little punch here. This little, I got this from the flea market for like $3, I think it was. Habitat. So I'm just going to cut some of these, or punch some of these. Turn it around like this so I can see. Make sure it's covering the entire area. Cut some of these. Do the same thing. Like I said, this is just random. I don't have any plans on how I'm going to use these, but I'm going to use them some type of a way. I'm just going to have fun with it. Okay, so I think I have enough stuff to start assembling. So let me try to organize this right quick. Okay, so I've somewhat organized it. I've got some die cut shapes like leaves. I have this cute little dove. And then of course I have these little jars that I punched out. And I have these, whatever you call them, like little signs or whatever. And then I've got my punched out, or semi-punched out, the bottom edge of the cards, of the tags. I think I'm going to use a corner punch on some of these though. I think it'll look better instead of just being plain squared off. And then I may even cut this in half because it's quite a thick card. I mean, a thick tag. Like I said, I tend to overthink stuff, so I'm just trying to just get on with it and just make some tags with my scraps. And these are going to be double-sided, so they're going to have a combination of die-cut shapes, collages, and I'm probably going to add some stamping and some stenciling to some. So yeah. But what I'm going to go ahead and do first, since I already know I'm definitely going to use these as my cards, my base, the base of my cards, is I'm going to go ahead and distress these. I'm going to use some Color Box brown, chestnut roan, or however you pronounce that. I'm just going to go around the edge of each one. I'm going to do that front and back because the back's going to show as well as the front. And I'm just going to do that to all of the tags, and I'll be right back. Okay, so some of these tags I'm going to add some stenciling and stamps to. So to start out, I think I'll use this Gears by the Crafter's Workshop. And I'm just going to randomly add some. I'm wondering if I should use paint or if I should use just ink, because I don't want to take too long on it. So I think I'll use some paint, because to me it's darker and I can get it on there a whole lot quicker. So I'm going to use some black acrylic paint. So I ran out of my black paint, believe it or not. But I have an alternative, and this is some modeling paste. Brie-Reese. So I'm just going to use some of it. I need to just take this out. I'm just going to brush some of this on here. And you can use a paintbrush, or you can use really any type of brush or whatever you want to use to get this painted on here. And what I like about it is, with it being so dark and intense, it picks up the shape really well. so these are dry now. I'm just going to turn them over, and I think I'll just do some stamping on them just to kind of keep it simple. Or actually, I want to add, yeah, I'll just put some stamps on it. And I've got several different collections. So since this has more like a masculine kind of vintage, industrial type look to it, I think I'll just use some of these Stampers Anonymous. This one is Ringmaster. Yeah, Ringmaster Clean Stamp by Tim Holtz. And I'm going to use some of this Ranger Pigment Ink black tie. And I'm just going to randomly stamp it on there. And I'm just going to take the leftover paint or ink and just kind of let it fade into the other tags, just so I'm not wasting ink. Okay, and then that takes care of these for right now until I figure out what else I want to use. So then I'm going to start on these tags here. And they will get stamps, but I'm also going to use some other stuff as well. So I'm just going to add some Honeycomb stenciling to some of these, and once again I'll use the Pigment Ink black tie. Take this Stampers Anonymous, the Professor 2 Clean Step Set, and I like some of these writings that are on here. So I'm going to use these as like backdrops for some of these here. And once again, I'm just going to use my black Ranger ink. And it doesn't have to be like super dark. It's just enough to make a background. I think I'll add just a little bit to these as well. Not that they really need it because they've already got somewhat of a background, but I still like it. It may be overkill, but that's usually what I do. think it'll be okay. And with this being dark, I need something darker on here. I think I need just an individual image. I think I'll put this clock on here. This is from the Stampers Anonymous, The Journey. I think this is the, no, Life's Possibilities. I don't know if you can see that or not, but yeah. Tim Holtz, Stampers Anonymous. It's an older set. So I like how that shows up a little bit better. Okay, so now I'm going to start gluing some stuff together. I think I'm just going to leave these in the front as is. And I'm going to flip them over. And I'm going to add one of these. That's like a little side pocket, like a tuck spot. So I'm just going to put some glue on the bottom and on the side. Just enough to kind of glue it on there and provide a little tuck spot. One of them I'm not going to put on there. So this is going to go here. Down. But I will create like a, this will become its tag or its no, I think I'll just punch a hole in it and use cheesecloth. And I'm going to stitch around the edges of some of these. But I will go ahead and glue these together. This tab is going to become like the top to the card. It'll be the tab of the card. I mean, it'll be the tab of the tag. I'm just lining it up so that these match. So there you have a tag, and like I said, I want to stitch around the edge. What I probably should have done, I might not stitch around this one simply because if I stitch, it's going to go across here, and unless I want to put something in the middle, which I could, and I still might, it wouldn't look right. So I'm going to go ahead and add some of these. To these tags. I might not add one to this one because I might do this one the same way I did that. Just go ahead and put this tag on here, or this tab on the tag because it's so small. And I think, well, I've only got one of these, so I may let one side be blue and then the other side be black. Okay, so I did cut some more out, or punch some more out in black, but I also found a little piece of brown, so I think I'll use brown against it, so it'll have to be double-sided, brown and blue. I'm just going to make sure they match up. Yeah, I'm not going to put that one on there. I thought I was going to use these neon green or light green, but they don't really match what I'm doing. Even though I know this is just scraps, but I like for my stuff to match. I haven't really used the leaves yet either, so I might use it later, I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to sew around. Oh, I should have did that before I added these on there. Well, I'm going to sew around these cards here and this one. And I may sew around just these edges and just leave this upper part loose. So I'll be right back after I sew these. And I found some acetate in my batch of clutter. So I think I'm going to also stitch on some acetate to the fronts of these, and then I can put a colorful tag in the middle of it to make it look better. Okay, so most of it's complete. I've already stitched them together, but I do want like something to put in the little tuck spots, like another little small tag or something. This one doesn't have a tuck spot, so it's pretty plain, but it's a good journaling spot. This one's got writing journaling spots on it too. So just the ones that have the pockets are the ones that I want to look for something to fill. This one's got two pockets since it's got the clear, the acetate on it, along with this right here. So all of these have the acetate. This one has the belly band acetate. So, but this one doesn't have any pockets either. So these two are going to kind of stand alone, which is fine. So basically, I think I'm just going to take some notebook paper and staple them together. I'm just going to cut some small little pieces or small groups of pieces. I'm going to create like a book, I guess. I'll just kind of fold it over like this. Some will be kind of like a book, and then some will be kind of like a just a little tablet. And I don't want them too tall, so I'll probably make them like 1.5 inches tall. I'll just do 2 inches and see how that turns out. About 2 inches. Cut this down to like 1/2. And then I'm just going to staple these. So yeah, I'm just going to staple these. So that'll go there. It's basically 2 sheets of paper. This will go in here. These don't have any. Can go here. And instead of sewing, I think I'll just staple these. So I'm just going to come to the outside and then just staple along the margin right here. Or not the margin, but the crease. Try to straighten it up. And then you have like a little booklet. I might not put one in here, or I might put something different there. So I've got a tuck spot here, so I need something back here. Then I need something here. Here. So I think I'll do something colorful like this. I think I'll use this and just cut it and then make these into tags. Some small tags. This is pretty fitting. That'll work with that. Cut this down. Might make it a little bit wide. I'm just going to round off the edges. Actually, I'm just going to cut them into the shape of a tag. And then all I have to do is punch a hole in it and go around the edges with black. I think I'll do this one the same way. It's kind of tall, so I'll just take just a little bit off of it. And then I'll just add this to it. Or cut this off of it, actually. It's not really adding, it's taken away. I'm just distressing the edges. And it's not 100% like even, but you know what? That's what art is. We're just going to leave it like that. Art is not being perfect. I think I'll leave it on the solid side, but at least you've got a double side. Yeah, I think it looks better with the solid side. I like when my tags are double-sided. It just gives you more room for playing around. So I think I've pretty much got it covered. Okay, and so these need some string or something. So I'm going to use cheesecloth on some. And then I'm also going to use some of this black ribbon on some of the other. So I'm going to cut some of these loose. And then just kind of add it. And see what becomes of it. I'll use white on this instead of black, because it's already got a lot of black on it. I'm just going to tie these together. So I forgot when I added this acetate on here, I sealed up the hole, so I should have waited before I punched a hole. But I'm just going to come over top of it and then just punch it through. And then I'm just going to feed some cheesecloth through it and tie it up. And I guess I'll just go ahead and punch a hole in this one. And add a piece of this black lace ribbon. Okay, so it's so easy to do stuff with your scraps. Just put some stuff together, throw some inks, dyes, stencils, you know, some thread. Really simple. It's amazing what you can come up with, you know. So I hope that this has been helpful, and next week I'll try to have the next video with me making scraps. I might do an envelope or something. I'm not real sure yet what I'm going to make. But each week I'm going to try to have I'm going to try to do 52 videos of using up my scraps for the entire year. That way I can try to get rid of some of my scraps. It's probably not going to happen, but we're going to try. So thanks for watching, and check out my blog and social media sites and other videos and stuff like that. And subscribe. And once again, thanks for watching.